I had a dream. It's like I'm sitting, drinking coffee in a strange building where all the walls are transparent. There are huge windows and a lot of people everywhere. Outside there is a snowy wasteland. Suddenly someone shouts, "War!" Do you think anyone reacts? No. I look out of the window and see the tanks under tarpaulin covered with snow. And I think idly, well, war it's war. Are they gonna shoot bombs from the sky? Or are they gonna shoot at the windows? Well, until they actually start bombing, I'm gonna finish my coffee. But it's hot. And I wake up. So tell me, if someone shouts bomb, what will you do? Should you take cover? Where? Under the table, behind the sofa? Or maybe it's a gas attack. Invisible at first. Soft. Or it's a sniper. So far that he can't see you. And it's not because you did something to him. You're just his target. Life and death, they're so much closer now. I can feel death breathing on my neck. You think it's mysterious, mystical? No. Can you smell it? I hate this smell. Death. Do you think it couldn't happen to you? You know it could. And I know. But I don't care. It seems like the worst has already happened. And here I am, alive, drinking my coffee. Do you know what really saves you? Autopilot. You know how the little prince started his mornings? Cleaning volcanoes. And what do we do now? First, of course, coffee. Yeah. And then we check and sort our Facebook, Instagram, and all sorts of social media, and check the news. People check the news every day. It already seems like anyone who is not on the internet doesn't really exist, like he's in the Stone Age. Well, without it, we feel uncertain. Suddenly something happens and we missed it, you know? Of course, there are few surprises now. Bombs, shellings, terrorist attacks. The most important thing is just where. The most important question is how it is close to you or the people close to you. So you can change your route or warn people. Simple. That's how I started my morning, habitually cleaning volcanoes. When suddenly a message, not terrifying, even the opposite, ecstatically cheerful. Only the letter was from here, from the neighboring state, from the other side of the front. Yes, as if nothing happened. I was greeted, wished all the best, and asked, "How are you?" Bum bum. I used to answer everything's okay. Recently I began to say, except for the war, everything is fine. But now, once the worst happened, what was I afraid of, you know? Like, the worst is behind us. Surely it can't get any worse. So, well, it's still the worst and it stays with you. So, here is a simple question. How are you? I'm bewildered. No. We need something good, okay? Concentrate. Well, let's start. How are you? What's new? Great. You know, I love classical music now. I listen to operas. Can you imagine me, an opera buff? You don't believe me? Well, listen. That's Mephistopheles' aria from Faust. Music takes me over so often now, and you know that music develops intelligence. It connects the right and the left hemispheres, the subconscious and conscious. But it's not only that. Music is very important now. They say that music is the language of a soul, and in such a time, you never know what's gonna happen. Kaput, and that's it. And all you are is just a soul. So I want my soul to be as good as it can be, with bells and whistles. And I also got a drum. It's too late to start learning music, but the drum is the way to go. And if you want to beat someone, it also helps. Isn't that so cool? So everything is cool. You know, I have music and the worst is behind me. Just look at this message. I've been invited to witness a wedding. Just like that, a maid of honor. I should be happy, yes? We've known each other for a long time, or used to know before the war. I don't know what to think now. I've been wondering how to answer. But I decided I will record everything on camera. It will be my witness, my friend. Now all these terms became kind of hybrid. Brotherly nations, friendship. I'm just overwhelmed by the falsehoods. when your brother may be Cain and you were born Abel and doomed to love him? It's hard to simply stop loving just because they kill. How do you stop? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to become indifferent to you. There is this gift you left, this music box. I used to keep my little treasures in it when I was a child, and I loved the melody it played so much. It reminds me of time when we were little and we were playing games and shared our first secrets about boys. It was so simple, but always made me feel safe. But now, it just twists my nerves into an invisible spring that can untwist and strike. Losing friendship is the same as losing love. You know, we have a monument dedicated to the friendship of peoples in the form of a rainbow arch. And once my little nephew asked, well, is the rainbow dead? No, what gave you the idea? Why, a monument to her then? The rainbow died. The friendship of peoples is dead. We are all living by her grave. We have all been witnessed to her murder. I was a witness even before you invited me. I testify. Do you know what else I saw in your letter, my dear friend? You wished me peace. Well, thank you very much, but you know, when we were little, this wishes for peace seemed stupid. Why wish for peace when it already existed, when it seemed that only idiots would fight? And now, well, of course you wish me peace, but victory or defeat? So, here is a test. When somebody wishes you peace, ask them about these options. Victory over the aggressor, right? If the person really wishes you peace, he says yes, victory. If not, they get infuriated. I've seen this so many times. There is no third option. It's either or. So, you want me to win, or vice versa. You do understand that our victory is your defeat. So, I wrote to her, how can I go when there is still a war going on? And I get this answer, well, yes, you have a war, but we don't. Everything is quiet and peaceful. Crazy, right? Do you really not understand? This is not a war upon us. This is a war between us. This is your war, imposed by you. Do you understand that it's impossible to wish for peace and at the same time send tanks and bombs? It's impossible to send unidentified soldiers and assassins to kill. It's either or. You cannot mix. War does not simply erupt out of the earth. There is always one who attacks and one who defends. We did not attack you. Our tanks and bombs are not in your territory, and yours are. And can you buy a tank in the supermarket? No. And maybe book? You know what it is? It's a special guided missile to shoot at planes. They are not sold here. They don't grow on trees and fall from the sky. Bullshit. Well, what other options there might be? Can you dug one out of the earth? Bullshit. Oh yes, you could have bought them from the soldiers who got out of the tank before he crashed it. Garbage. Or maybe you could steal from a museum display. More garbage. And what other options? A time machine maybe, no? Magic. Or maybe you say these separatists sold them when they stole them from our army. Bullshit. You try it then, run out naked and unarmed and stop the tank and just snatch it. Maybe you could do it, but I can't. And I don't really believe anyone could. And if you even get a chance to get a tank, do you know how to drive it? Do you know how to shoot a book? No. Because this has to learn, my dear. It needs military training. Full stop. I do not believe this nonsense. There is only one possibility. Your chosen ones sent them to us with your silent consent, paid with your taxes. When ordinary crimes are tried, those who pay for them are as guilty as the ones who shot. So why not in this case? You are all clients and sponsors of our mass crimes. Millions of refugees are millions robbed, and tens of thousands are killed and wounded. We are all witnesses to these crimes. Not just the president. You too. Do you understand that? And you say, there's nothing you can do. Well, you can do something. We stopped our killers. You cannot live like this. And then I get an answer from her. Well, of course, she was very sympathetic, but you didn't have to start the war. Start? Are you crazy? Did we send you men in khaki and unidentified soldiers? Did we seize your parliaments with machine guns? Did you put your men and children in front of machine guns so they don't shoot? This war was planned, long prepared, and carefully thought out. It's obvious. And you started it at this terrible moment when we were burying our heavenly 100 and the whole Ukraine was weeping on its knees. When foreign countries took care of our wounded with their blinded eyes, broken limbs, and burned flesh. You secretly attacked our weakest place. It's like backstabbing a gaping wound and twisting. We just started to defend ourselves. You know, I know all these arguments. They are repeated over and over by internet trolls. You say that our people also kill. Well, yes, but in defense, in response. That's what Otvetka means. To shoot in response. We won't just stand and die. The most important thing is who started it. It has always been so. So, are you facing our weapons? No, but we are facing yours, and thousands of them. So, who are the occupiers? What would you say you are defending? Peaceful inhabitants. with machine guns and tanks. Not even funny. Language and culture. Language and culture are defended in books, on the screens and on the stages, and not in the field of battle. And you know how many schools, theaters, newspapers we have in your language? Thousands. How many do you have in ours? 0? So, who are the Nazis? Have we ever banned your language? No. How many have you banned ours? 144 during 3 centuries. So, who are the Nazis? We do not kill for your language. And you do. So who are the Nazis? You kill for our language, for our songs, for our culture, and the colors of the flag. So who are the Nazis? I know there are some of you who are against the war, but there seem so few. If you all united and said no to war, there would be none. So you supported with your silent consent to our death. Do you know how many of our fallen soldiers have the same last names as many of you? I once seen this movie where all those people killed just flashed past. And you know how many last names were the same? Thousands. In a few minutes. And you are talking about peace. Stop. I should not worry. I can take it. You know, I try to live a very healthy lifestyle. I quit drinking. I quit smoking. I do exercise. I stopped eating all these unhealthy chemicals. And I try to fill my life with positive things like doing exercises, breathing properly, going for long walks, and aromatherapy, whatnot. This thing, it keeps his scent. So sweet and so painful. It started to get a little fainter, but there is still some left. Do you know how long do the smells last? I don't know. But that's all I have. His scent and the sound of his voice. He was not a soldier. He was a singer. And, once he was asked why is that he, an artist, took up arms. Because he was not called up like the others, he went of his own accord. And he answered that artists often have a great sense of justice. Do you understand? Justice. It does not give you peace. No. It does not give you even breathe properly and freely, or even live, because without it you feel like suffocating, because you've starved of oxygen.